We saw some incredible plays, even some great comebacks, and some new meta-defining moments, especially with all these Spike Titans that were present. But as always, it's amazing to see the growth in our affiliate tournaments. And we even have a new and exciting format, which we will touch on for this weekend's tournament as well. So as always, please make sure to keep these decks ready, and our affiliate tournament is coming back this weekend. We really love these affiliate tournaments. They're a really great proving ground for people to test new strategies, test different elements, and really get ready as we begin to get closer and closer to the tryouts we have within our esports roadmap. And speaking about having another chance of glory in the upcoming affiliate tournament, we have the new affiliate tournament, which is taking place this weekend with a twist. Perfect segue. So this weekend, we're stepping back into the arena with another affiliate tournament in a brand new format. So as many of you know, throughout the registration process itself, you were asked to pick 4 elements out of the 8 elements available. So why did you have to do that? Well, these 4 Titans will be the selection of your Titans for the day. So this is basically your tournament lineup. An important note about these 4 Titans, you can only use your own, so you have to actually own these Titans, or you have to rent them from a singular player. So unlike in previous tournaments where you could rent from multiple players, this one's a little bit different. You can only rent from a single player. So sounds really exciting, right? But how will this actually work on the day of the tournament? So as always, you'll need to step in early, do your check-in, be on time. Really stressing that. I've heard Daniel's been quite strict with these check-in processes as of late.
That doesn't sound like Daniel.
No, not at all, right? No, but make sure to check in on time. Otherwise, you may get chopped off the affiliate tournament, which is not our problem. It's your problem with Daniel. But we'll go over these timings in just a sec. But once you're actually chatting with your opponent, each of you will have the ability to ban 1 element from your opponent's pool. So these elements will these Titans will be made public, so everybody could see who is playing with what, and you as a player, as an opponent, will get to ban one of your opponent's Titans. So from here, you will have 3 remaining Titans, and you must enter these Titans into best of 3 matchups against that one singular opponent. So if you move on, you'll go to the next matchup, and you will basically have the same mechanic and the same format here, where you'll have your 4 Titans, your opponent will have their 4 Titans, and basically you will have to ban one of these Titans. So once you win with the Titan, it's considered validated, which then means it cannot be reused. So unlike our 3-player playoff where you keep playing with that one Titan, this one's a little bit different. Once you win, you can no longer play with it in that best of 3 battle. If you lose with a Titan, you'll need to obviously win with it eventually, or you can switch to a secondary Titan. So you can actually decide if you want to actually keep competing with that same Titan, but once you win with it, it will become validated and you must move on to the next Titan. Seeing if there are any questions here in chat before we move on, but I think we're pretty good. So the goal here, Titan Army, is to validate 2 of your Titans to win the round. So this is obviously you win 2 of the 3 matches, and you will be moved forward to the next round. We will get into the prize distribution in just a sec, AJ. That's actually a great question because we are switching it up for this affiliate tournament. So this exact process will actually remain for every round. So as I mentioned, as you move forward into the rounds, you will have to ban one of your opponent's elements. And this will actually also exist within the grand finals. However, within the grand finals, this will be a best of 3 match. So you actually have to win with 3 of your Titans to be crowned the winner. So AJ, perfect segue, as Ads is saying here, to talk about this updated prize pool. And we're changing it up a little bit. So our affiliates, they always come with these great ideas. We decided to move forward with it this week, giving extra juicy rewards for our block winners and even more winnings for our overall finalists. So in the second image that you can see here, if you get into the top 32, you will win 20 USD. Top 16, you get an extra 20. Top 8, an extra 45 on top of that. Top 4, you'll get an extra 60, which means if you are the runner-up, you will be going home with a total of 220 USD. That's only for the block. If you win the block, you will be going home with 300 USD. So some juicy, juicy winnings here for even our block winners. And then on top of that, these players will obviously play in our overall final, where the runner-up of that overall final will be going home with a whopping 480 USD, where our champion is going home with 600 USD. So changing it up a little bit with these extra amped rewards. But don't worry, the schedule will remain as you guys can see here on the left. So round 1, 8 to 8:40 EST. Round 2, 8:55 to 9:20. Round 3 from 9:25 to 9:45. Our quarterfinals from 9:50 to 10:10. Semifinals 10:15 to 10:30. Our finals from 10:35 to 10:50. This is where we will begin streaming on our Twitch as well. And then the overall final. Okay. You guys lost me? Can you still hear me? Check, check. Okay, now you can hear me. Amazing. Yeah, Nero, we hear you. I'm actually excited to test out this new prize pool distribution and see how it goes. That's kind of the whole point of these affiliate tournaments, to test out new strategies, whether that be in the tournament format or for you guys as players. So, hear you. I think Daniel and the team and Shazinix and RCS will definitely take that feedback into consideration, but really, really excited to test out new formats with this tournament. And kind of on that note, these are really great testing grounds for new strategies, different Titans. We're excited to see you guys playing with multiple Titans and having to be a bit dynamic with your play and the different strategies that you use. We really think that this will help as we continue to move forward closer and closer to our upcoming esports roadmap and all the tryouts and world qualifiers that are associated with that. But until then, get those 4 Titans ready. Be prepared to play with all of them. Start practicing, and we'll see you in the arena for this weekend. That's it for me today, guys. I'll hand it over to Ads to do Dutch Comic Con, or does she want me to keep going? I'm not too sure. I'll do either.
I got the Dutch
Okay,
Dutch Comic Con. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about our events that we got going on. Right, we just completed our Creator Clash in India last weekend, which was amazing. So excited to give that debrief, and then very soon I'll talk about that at the end, Vilsey. Very soon we are going to be heading to the Netherlands. As you said, Heya, to meet with our favorite person, BVT, and with Skog as well, of course, to get the Dutch Comic Con going. So we're just about a week away from us being at the Comic Con. It's happening on the 20th to the 22nd. And it's actually our first major event that we are having in the region. As you know, Europe isn't one of our core markets, but we actually have had some really strong activations there. So maybe it should be one of our core markets, right? So we are excited to see how we can keep building out this European community. So we're going to be flying out on Wednesday, and touching down will be on site on Thursday to make sure everything is ready to go. For those of you that are going to be, yeah, maybe it should be BBT, right? We've done so many things that it feels like across this year. So let's see how this event goes, right? So for those of you that are going to be making the trip and coming to hang with us in Utrecht, which is a beautiful city, not far from Amsterdam, or for those of you that are going to be tuning online through our socials, we got some really cool stuff that's going to be lined up going into this event. So firstly, the people, right? You got us there, you got Skog, you got BBT there. We're going to be there all weekend, sharing tips, helping new players dive right in. So whether we've got these new players that are just starting to learn the ropes, or whether we have more seasoned players who are coming down to check us out, meet us, you definitely want to be there tuning in for those insights from our community. And we also have Ross that is going to be there as well. So Ross is going to be our dedicated MC for the weekend, which is going to be hilarious. Cannot wait to see his energy in person. So he's going to be working the crowd, keeping the energy high for everyone as well. This Comic-Con event, I mean, it's massive. It's a lot of people passing through your stand. A lot of different things to see. As you can imagine, people's attention is like everywhere, right? So it's going to be good for us to have Ross to be able to draw people over. He'll do some of the live commentary that we're going to be having, and we'll see the play-by-play breakdowns that Ross is going to be bringing as well, which is very important when people obviously are seeing the game for the first time, to have someone who's walking through what's actually happening in terms of what they're seeing. We also have our stand, right? We're decking out our stand for this Comic-Con. So we have a fleet of tablets that we're going to be setting up for this one. Everything, of course, is going to be loaded only with Reign of Titans. So new players are going to be battling it out, playing with their friends, testing out different strategies right there on the floor of Comic-Con. We do have some sneak peeks of what this booth looks like. I think, yeah, let's go ahead and share some of these sneak peeks. So so they haven't seen the design yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're pretty excited about this design that we have here. As I said, the Comic-Con, it's like there's just people everywhere, right? All looking at different stuff, like shiny things, gravitating towards that. So we definitely wanted to do something that had our IP and was pretty striking. So you see the Titans there on the front to be able to provide that. And then, of course, within the booth, actually having the space for the tablets, space for people to hang out with their friends, have conversations. So we're pretty excited with this booth. We'll have a little merch area as well, hangout spots, and of course, like places for people to like take photos and stuff and post it on their socials. So we're excited to be putting the finishing touches onto this stand. But we got some other things that are going to be happening live as well with alongside this stand. So we have got special challenges that are going to be happening for players. I mean, you can imagine what this is like. We've done it before. Special challenges on site for players, and they can win much. And then on top of that, we're going to be bringing back that passport system that we did have at AGS. Huge success for us when we think about this passport system, because it's engaging for people, right? It draws people to our stand. And this brings the competitive element a little bit to what they're doing, right? So the attendees with the passport system, they're going to have to complete certain tasks, and then in return, they're going to be winning some exclusive Reign of Titans merch. No plushies, so don't worry about that. So as I said, we're putting the finishing touches on, the booth, the experience, on the things that we want to be doing on site. But we are excited. We're going to be showcasing everything on our social media, right? We'll be taking pictures. We'll post as much in the Discord as we can. We do always say that, and then we never have time to post to the Discord, but we're going to really try to be posting in the Discord. I mean, we're there for a couple of days, so we should be able to post. Yeah, if you want to come. I mean, you have to get there on your own, but when you get there, we'll definitely meet you with some merch if you come. We'd love to see you if you are in the area. Make your way down to Utrecht or Amsterdam, and we can figure something out from there. If you aren't, in general, if you're not too far, do reach out to us, and we'll see what we can do. Right. This in-person stuff is really important to us in terms of our community. Meeting the community has a big impact on our motivation. We get a huge amount of feedback from all of you in person as well, right? So it really helps us in terms of our strategy and momentum going forward. And on that topic, right, of meeting people in person and the community, look at that segue. We got to do this in a really big way last week when we had the event that was happening in in India. Okay. So funny, because I said to the India community not to say that I got alpha. This is why you don't tell people things, because they just.
There was an NDA too.
Yeah. Okay, India community noted. Okay, they told you that they can't share. Okay, actually, I'll take that. That's actually pretty good that they did that. I'm running through it here in my mind about what I can share. Sorry that you have COVID. Sorry about that. I don't think people still got that. I feel like it was done. COVID. I can't remember the last time somebody told me they had COVID.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Yeah. Yeah, I was like, where's Azu coming from? Oh, here we go. Everybody's coming out of the woodwork now. We're talking about alpha. I'll spill a little bit of the alpha at the end, right? Yeah, get well soon.
Yeah, I feel better.
You kind of put us into a conversation about COVID, but the main thing is get well soon. Okay, so we had this event right last week, and it was really a successful event for us. There were some things that were not great. Let me tell you about I think the worst thing that happened to us on the day around this event, and it was basically that one of our plushies went missing. So we started off the day with 2, and we ended the day with 1. That's all I'm saying. We don't know where Bluebow is. No, there's basically a countrywide search that's going on right now for Bluebow, and we don't know where Bluebow is. So just keep your eyes out for Bluebow. We might have to start a campaign.
Yeah, we're gonna put Bluebow on milk cartons.
Yeah, where else? Exactly. We need these missing Bluebow. We have some leads that we're digging into, but Bluebow is missing. I'm just putting that out there, community, so we can all get on it. Apart from that being the low point of the day, in general, it was. Yeah. So okay, so this is it. We got some leads right around the missing Bluebow. I'm not going to say any names, but we do believe that it was taken purposefully. That's all I can say. So it was pretty sad. But if that was, yeah, we do. We have got the CCTV. We have got the security camera footage, but we can't see we can't see anything there. We're still going through it, but we haven't found.
We haven't checked that one camera angle
though. So we gotta see exactly. Azu, you need to get on whoever stole your plushie. It's really a you problem more than us problem, Azu. But huge milestone for us, right? And if this is the worst thing that happened, I think we can call the event a success. It was a huge milestone for us, right? And it was a milestone in a couple of ways. And the most important thing actually that I want to touch on is the milestone that we had in terms of the community, right? And what it really meant to bring people to Mumbai to share that time with us, right? You know how I was like last week, it's really annoying to have to do it and I hate it. Still stands, but being at the event and seeing all of you there and just having you there supporting us was a feeling that's difficult to describe, right? Because you've been with us for so long, right? It feels like you've built this with us. We say this all the time, right? But to put like faces to the people that have been supporting us over Discord was really amazing. We had about 40 people here that came down, which again was amazing for us, right? People like made the trip. You know, it wasn't just a case of like, let me jump in an Uber and come down to the arena. It was a case of Maddie OP, they're going for you. They're going for you. You're a suspect right now. Just put it out there. I mean, you're a cool in person, but right now you're a suspect too. So it wasn't just a case of people like jumping in an Uber. Like people actually traveled to make it to us. So I have to express my gratitude for that because it's like people came to just be there for a few hours, right? Their journeys took like way longer than the event itself, right? And for some people. So it was a pretty like emotional moment for us. So thank you to everybody that represented and came out. And it also went quite a long way in terms of the response just from like the creators and just other people in the space. You know, Revenant like couldn't stop raving about the community, right? And the fact that people showed up, supported us, and how, you know, actually amazing our community is. So things like that go a long way for us. Community very successful, a lot of alpha shared. They've signed the NDA, so they're not going to be saying anything. But on the other like successful side is the actual event itself, right? So we live streamed this event. We live streamed, and we also had watch parties that were going on at the same time. And then we also had creator content that was going on at the same time as well. And we had some pretty strong view numbers as we look at it post event. For our Reign of Titans YouTube, so that was us live streaming on our Reign of Titans India YouTube channel, we had over 50,000 live viewers, which was amazing for our first event for us, and especially on our YouTube, which is pretty new. But with all of these kind of combined channels that I just talked about in terms of watch parties, creator content, in terms of the live streams, creator content, watch parties, and then just like general kind of reacting and other videos around the event, we actually reached a total of more than 250,000 views. I think we're closer to 300,000, maybe more at this point. So that's really, really amazing for a first event for us, right? It kind of feels like it kind of went from 0 to 100 with that. And we're seeing, yeah, Daniel, you literally took the words out of my mouth. And we're seeing a pretty nice uptick in terms of downloads that we've got off the back of that. Our kind of trend curve has grown a little steeper because of that. So we're really pleased with that conversion that we're getting so far. We can go into numbers specifically at the end. But some of the highlights that we got from this event, the production setup that we had. So in general, right, the arena space, we spent quite a long time on it, right? Top of the Revenant Bootcamp, perfect location for us, great access, and it's decked out really nicely. We kind of did a little tour. I think you see that on the video, or you see like parts of the arena. But the actual space was great, and then we also had the production that was happening on the space as well. We going into the live stream, we had our format, we had different camera angles that we were working with, and we really tried to make sure that we captured all of the different moments when it came to the actual event itself. We received pretty good feedback, especially from those of you that were tuning in live, and from the community also watching it live as well. So with the numbers, with the feedback, we feel very positive and kind of grant this as a success, right? Plenty of things for us to learn from this too. So some of the things that we did learn coming out, right? So for example, we learned that although we had a great setup in terms of the arena, amazing production team that we were working with, we weren't like on point with all of the camera angles, right? Watching back through the playback, there were some mistakes that we made, but in general, we're happy with the general production of it. Alongside this, we also had the global watch parties that were running in parallel. So we had our global watch party, which was hosted by Ross, and he did this on the Twitch. So just have to say thank you, because he pulled on all-nighter to get that done for us, and also this contributed to our numbers. He did all the commentary in English, and it just gave access for our global community. So really, really amazing. Massive shout out to Ross. Everybody should just give him big kudos to him for what he did for us. Just gave everybody a front seat as to what was happening. And his reactions, I heard, were on point. I even heard there was some yoga going on at one point during the Twitch, but kept it engaging from start to finish. So yeah, shout out to us. The kind of format that we had on the day. So we kicked off with our two hosts. You saw them on the stream. We had Sparrow, and we had Salty. I always forget because I want to say Sparrow, but it's not really Sparrow. It's like Sparrow. We had Sparrow and we had Salty. And it was so cool. If you haven't seen it, definitely go back and try and check out some of the live stream, right? Because we started off with the two of them, very, very, very good hosts in general. They did like a quick little interview with me, just talking a little bit about Reign of Titans, why we're in India. And then we went into the showcase matches with the creators, right? So it was really interesting. And Daniel, you brought up a good point, right? Because it was interesting to see how the creators actually picked up the game through the event as well, right? So from the beginning of like Alchemist is the first goal, but it was interesting, like just watching them each match, right? And in between matches, what you didn't see, like off camera, right, was them like practicing, right, and playing and trying to be better, like going for the next match again, or asking like a couple of questions to to us like, okay, what does this mean? Or and get it actually like really getting into it. So it was nice to see that progression from them. It gave us a lot of hope in terms of that learning curve to get into the game, and it gave us an insight in terms of how many games is a number of games that you need to have to, at a minimum, really start to pick up what's going on within the game, right? We saw the excitement coming from the creators as well. Same thing that we saw with their content, right? As we went through the day, they like posted a lot more content, got more excited about what they were doing. Again, if you choose into the live stream, I think you would have seen Ankita. I mean, I think everybody thought that she was tipped to win. So she was pretty serious, once it got to about halfway through. And then her head flicker took her out at the end. But really nice to see the creators. So I want to say thank you to them and what they did for us on the ground as well. Clearly, there is a hunger when it comes to more structured competitive play. Right? We feel, Mana Queen, exactly. We see that, right? We feel that. We got the same feedback from the creators that were there too, right? We were able to download from them. Okay, how did you feel about the game? How does it fit in with India? With the gaming that you do now, what do you think, right? It's very different to the kind of games that they play at the moment. Most things are first-person shooter in India. So they were quite keen and to just try something else and get into it. So we see this hunger of this competitive play. And we see this road to start going towards a global stage. And we, at the end of the stream, took the time to talk about how we want to do that. And we did that by talking about our esports roadmap. So we released it on the actual stream. We talked through you saw it all on the TitanTalk last week, but we talked through the different stages, the different regions that we wanted to have, and how we wanted to have worlds as well. I did announce on the live stream in front of everybody, so we kind of have to do it now. I said it's very likely that we're going to have it in India, the worlds. I said that on the stream, so it's probably going to be in India because I feel like people are going to hold me to that. So which is a great thing for us because we talked about actually bringing people to India as well to compete in those worlds. But in general, esports roadmap was great. Not sure, Realzy, right? It depends. We would want to have. It depends. It depends on the setup. Yeah, you'd have to fly out there. This is why I'm saying like the community needs to get ready, right? Because when we have the different teams, and then you make it to the finals, you need to make your way to India. So, let's knock out all the others and get there. Okay, so we talked about the roadmap, the direction. We talked about going from these tryouts, going through all the way to the world qualifiers, and how it was really this idea of having pro teams and having amateur teams, and how you could get involved as well. We always talk about this esports roadmap, and we talk a lot in general. The tournaments trying to provide a platform where anybody can come through and try their hand at esports. And we're going to double down on that message with esports roadmap going forward. So in terms of India, again, just create a clash in general, really positive event. Again, from the community all the way through to the creators, through to the actual space production, everything very strong and gave us a lot of learnings for next time. Bad thing, we lost Blue Bow. Okay, so good and bad. But what's next for us when it comes to India, right? We're definitely not going to be slowing down, right? And this is, I guess, where I have to give some alpha. So firstly, we are going to continue to showcase our esports roadmap. We're going to be talking about it when it comes to future events and activations. It is going to be part of the conversation that we're having with... Hang on, I need to answer this poll. Okay. We are going to be talking about it with our brands as well, right? It's central to our strategy. For example, when we talk to Guanana, it's central to the strategy as to how we want to work with them. That's a little bit of alpha for you there. Take what you want from that conversation, but we want to make sure that they're involved in the esports strategy as well. Hint, hint. You can kind of get what I'm going with that. We are talking about it in the context of our product roadmap, right? Super central in terms of the features that we do next. So it's one of the big things. We're going to keep showcasing our esports roadmap and keep working and rolling on this in the future as we go into these events, into these activations. To fully fulfill this esports roadmap, you got the technical of it, right? We need to make sure that the game is on point. We need to make sure the product is ready, and we need to make sure that the whole experience for people to come through and actually try to compete is available. So that means educating players about how they can qualify, how they can get into tryouts, and how they can get involved, whether it's through community events or whether it's through specific tournaments that we put on, for example. Our goal, as we said, is to make sure that every single person feels like they have the opportunity to get involved in esports with Reign of Titans and that they know how to do it. And that means that we need to make sure we have as many avenues as we can to do that. Of course, we're going to be returning to the arena boot camp space as well, specific to India. We're still working very, very closely with Revenant, very closely. So we got some cool things lined up with them. We will be talking about that a little bit more as we go through and as things get finalized. But still very strong partnerships with them and with their creators as well. We want to do more stuff with the community. We've seen how much the community loves these events, and we're going to be making sure that we can keep trying to put on these events as we go forward. Secret training with the Revenant team. There might be some secret training. Maybe. But the key, right, is that we got this amazing space and we want to make sure that we keep utilizing it. Wait, is it just one person that do chaos?
No, it's
Oh.
around. One person.
Yeah. That's funny.
Now we got 3 votes.
They felt sorry for order. That's why. So stay tuned when it comes to new things that we are going to be doing in the arena. So some alpha for all of you. Let me think. What's the best alpha that I can give you all? Trying to think about what I was saying in India that's not too bad for me to say publicly on TitanTalk.
Recorded.
Yeah, a recorded TitanTalk. Yeah, alpha alert. Okay. Actually, I've got an interesting one. Yeah, something only I know. We should turn off the recorder for a second, so it's just us in the room. But one of the things that I did talk about actually in India is that I talked about we are kind of at a stage where we need to start to think about how we want to potentially start to monetize the app. We haven't talked too much about this yet, and we don't have a full strategy in place as to how we're going to do it. It's likely that we might focus on different regions first. I'm not going to talk about the options here, Azu. But it's likely we're going to do it region by region as what makes sense in the different regions to think about when we go to monetizing the app. But when we talk about like skins, we're talking about in-app purchases, right? So skins is probably going to be a big one. We've already started the conversation talking about skins as well. Battle pass is another one. A lot of you have asked for that a lot. Battle pass. But this question is basically our biggest thing that we're thinking about going into the end of the year as well. You can always DM me too, right? Talking about like skins and things. Yeah, obviously we want to focus on exclusivity as well, Realsy, when we talk about these items. But this is a big thing that we're working on behind the scenes too. I'm trying to think what else we can tell them. What's going on? Maybe we should. That's like maybe we could tell them something about Guanana. Could we tell them it's not going to put us in trouble? It would likely be cosmetic. It depends. It's not that like thought through yet, right? But what we would do with the skins, is that they would be tied to something, so they're not like random. They'd be tied to like a specific team, for example, that we were working with. Um, so it would depend, or it would be a certain period of time. But likely it's going to be somehow potentially connected to this esports journey that we're going into. Um, for the skins, but we're thinking about exclusive skins and likely tied to teams is what we're working with. Mm. See, the thing is, I know the really big thing that I said in India, and I can't say it here on this TitanTalk because it's like it's recorded, so I can't talk about it yet. And also, it's not final, so I can't. I'm trying to go through the list of exactly what I said. The monetization was a big one. No, that's all. That's all I can. Yeah, you forgot exactly. You know nothing. You know nothing. But let me give you some other updates, right, around just some of the things that we're working on. Before you ask me already. Um, we got our big things right this year, and if we're putting them into order, we got our tournament platform, we have spectator mode, we have tutorial, we have story mode. These are the big kind of four that we're working with. Um, in terms of product features, right? So what I can say, right, is I can give you some updates on this, and this will actually be some nice alpha for all of you, right? And hey, I'll answer your question. So tutorial is good, right? So I've seen it and it looks really cool. Everything is fully in game, so you play um 2 or 3 matches before you kind of go into the actual game experience. And the tutorial is going to be happening before the registration process is happening, so you actually do get a first-hand idea of what to do in the app, right? Exactly. Not sure, Azu. Um, and to the point, hey, you new players, you have nothing to do, right? You don't even understand what's going on. You like land on the map. You're like, what is this map? You land in different places and you don't know what's happening, right? So first thing, and you also need to understand like what the game is about, right? We see that missing in our first time user experience. Tutorial should be coming in the end of next month, so we're excited to put that into the game, right? The only thing we need to do with the tutorial is now make sure that we can have the new like updated like game in there, right? Because we're working on the old version with everything, so we just need to update everything to the new one. So that's looking good. Spectator mode, I talked about it last week, I believe. That's looking good when we look at the timeline, sort of October time for spectator mode. Really, really important when we start to talk about and work with brands. For spectator mode, right? Everybody's asking us like, what is this experience that we have as a brand with Reign of Titans in terms of like viewing and spectating. So they are excited that we're actually putting in spectator mode. We kind of saw the drawbacks at the arena event of not having spectator mode. We kind of have a workaround when it comes to our tournaments, how we do it with Twitch, but still it's not great, right? And that was a very big learning for us coming off the back of the creator clash as well. We have the I said tutorial, spectator mode, story mode. So story mode, I don't know if I've shared this with all of you, what we're actually doing with the map now, and what is going to be updated in the map for the next build. Does anybody know? Did I already leak this to you? Well, sorry, it's not really it's the start of story mode. Let's say the start. I shouldn't say story mode fully. It's the beginning. The beginning is coming already, right? And the beginning is so we got the map, right, which is just random. You don't know like what it is, what it's doing. Yeah, the origin, exactly, right. So we decided to actually turn the map into the start of like the lore of Reign of Titans, right? So now when you have the map, it's going to basically like focus on the IP. Again, it's going to start this beginning kind of journey as we go into story mode. So now when you have the map and you click on the different areas, you're now going to be seeing the description of what the areas are, whose land it is. Very simple thing for us to put in, but gives the map a little bit of purpose. And as I said, it starts to set up the basis of what we're going to do with story mode towards the end of the year as well. So again, the map also won't be random. And then every time that we do develop a new area, that we start to work with the brand, we also have the room to then, put in whatever story they want to put into that different map as well. And then we have the last one that I said, big ones: story mode, spectator, tutorials, and tournament platform. Tournament platform. So it's not ready yet, but we have made the conscious decision to actually refocus some of our resources to make sure that actually it remains the priority. So when we look at that list of things to do, as I just said, tournament platform is number one. The tutorial is number two. Number three is going to be the beginnings of this story mode, and then four is we have the spectator mode in terms of when these things will be coming out, right? Hey, you asked a question. Oh, you asked about the tournament platform, I think. Okay. And then one last piece of alpha that I can actually share with you all as per our conversation today. What we can announce is actually some updates on our partnership in Brazil with Guaraná. So we are going to announce to you that we have picked our partner that we're going to be working with in Brazil across the year for this Guaraná campaign and activation that we're doing, right? So at this point, you all know that we're going to be working with Guaraná Antarctica in Brazil. Huge engagement for us. We're going to be going to the Brazil Game Show. And it looks like we're going to be having that limited edition SKU, which I don't know if we told you about too much. But we are looking to have a limited edition can of Guaraná Antarctica, which is going to be Reign of Titans branded. That is also going to be sold in Sao Paulo across the end of the year, right? So two huge things that we're working with them. And then, of course, you have the full campaign that's happening around it as well, right? From both sides. The SKU is like huge, right? Like Guaraná sells like it's. I wish it's really hard to explain how big it is if you don't live in Brazil. It doesn't make sense to you. But it's like the biggest soft drink that you have out there. And we, as you know, don't like to do things by ourselves. We like to work with people that are very in touch with the community and people on the ground there. So we have decided to work with an agency called Drumroll. So they're actually called Druid. So this is the number one gaming agency actually that you have in Brazil. They're absolutely huge. They know everything. They know everyone. And they actually were the ones who were really excited to work with us. We actually, funnily enough, we've been in touch with them for a couple of years. And each year they've really tried to work with us. And now this year we finally got it together. Since we got the release of mobile, we're going into Brazil heavy. We're starting to work with Druid. We are extremely confident about this partnership, right? You know how we went into India and we say we feel really comfortable with the partnership that we have with Revenant and the results that we get from it. This is how we feel working with Druid. They're coming with some amazing ideas already, particularly about how we want to start to propel ourselves into esports, and how we want to really grow our numbers pretty massively when it comes to Brazil as well. So we're going to have a lot of updates working with them. Again, they're very big in the gaming space. So we can be looking really towards LATAM now coming out as a really strong activation that we're going to be working with in Brazil as well. Who's AB and Bev? Noted. Thank you, Haya, for your feedback. All right, questions. Trying to think, should we tell him anything else? I think we've got anything else to tell him. I think this is all we can legally say, I presume. Yeah, good question, RG. So probably, well, right now it's slated to July, sort of late July, August for the marketing to start. Um, we've met with Druid quite a few times already. The strategy is in place in terms of how we're going to work with Brazil, work with Guanana. So we will. What do you mean feature related to?
Around that time, maybe.
Oh yeah. So when I'm saying any marketing, right? I'm talking about it in conjunction with us, mainly. The Guanana stuff might come a little bit later if we want to focus mostly on Reign of Titans. But in general, the majority of the content that you're going to see throughout the year for the campaign is going to be joint and collab marketing. Yeah, it's a good plan that we got with them. Yeah, I mean, we're starting to dip our toes in a little bit, right, into Brazil, um, and the potential is really clear for us. We just needed to make sure that the product was in a better place, and it is now in a better place. That first time user experience, though, that's something that's so important, especially because we like to Haya's point, like it's really difficult to understand the game as a new user, and now the game is more complex. So this is kind of where we also need you as a community to help us a little bit, right? Create content, create UGC for us. A lot of you actually did talk to me in India about wanting to create this UGC. It's hard for us to make the amount of content that we need, right? When our resources are so heavily focused around product. So we just to spread our wings a little bit. We really need the community to also help us to do UGC, and you also know the game the best. Um, the full tutorial that's technical, right? I said we already got the full tutorial that should be in um, by the end of July, and I think you came in late, RG Bio. But I talked about they've got some big things that like some bigger like chunks that we're biting off, with tutorial being one of those, and that's number one on the that's actually number two on the list. But it's high priority for us, and we should have it by the end of July. And I've already seen it, and it looks really good. Oh, Carol, we don't have a translation. Oh no, but we do the translation of the summary, right? Mm. Or you can, if you want a summary, you can ping us, Carol, and we'll try and get a summary over to you. So, the new video about Order and Chaos fighting, that's the trailer, yeah? You're gonna see that trailer somewhere very soon, actually, as quite a central piece of content. Uh, we haven't talked about it too much, but that trailer is actually going to be the headliner on our new website. We should have showed them sneak pics to the website. They would have loved that.
Next week.
Maybe we can. Oh, I just got excited about thinking, can we get them a sneak peek? We'll do a sneak peek for you next week on the new website. It looks really cool, and the trailer is like front and center on the website. Hey, bug fixes. Our team is just working through them, right? The update is we're working through. I said the play. So as soon as they're done, obviously we're going to be having the new build coming out. But it's just a ton to work through, and then we need to have a balance update as well. Will we get a different gameplay, tower mode, or not in the short plans? So it's not in the short-term plan for us to have a different game mode. It's in the plans in our mind, right? If we could, but it's just on in terms of resourcing, we just cannot fit it in with this year with the platform, with spectator mode, with the tutorial, and with. But I keep only remembering three. And with story mode, we don't have the resources to do it. Hey, that will come in the new balance update. Next week, new patch. We potentially might have a new patch at the end of the week. We'll let you know though, but not sure. It's probably going to be the week after. We're not sure. So I talked about us replicating the full environment of our tournaments. So we have more environment testing next week, replicating the same tournament situation, 256 players all matching at the same time, with the fixes that we've made. Once we complete our testing next week, that is when we'll make the decision that we are definitely going to go ahead with the tournament. But until we fix it, we will not have a 256 player tournament, right? Because it's just a horrible experience. In its place, we will put on more tournaments, but we're not going to do a 256 player tournament until our testing, again, replicating the same environment, is complete and is verified that it's fixed. This is not what I'm saying is not an indicator of it going in any direction. I mean, I can tell you I feel like pretty confident, right? But I'm not going to say anything official until we get all the testing results back. But so far we look okay. Gayfar, what are you saying? I miss Gayfar coming in at the end and being like, "What's going on?" Okay, what's the main difference between tournaments versus esports? Yes. Okay, great. Very good question. Azu. So the esports tournaments are designed exactly only to take you towards the different stages to try to get to worlds. They likely won't have a prize pool attached to them because again their purpose is for you to be competing and trying to get to worlds for the larger prize pool. The structure is likely going to be different slightly and the numbers are going to be different from like our 256 tournament, for example, right? The esports tournaments are also going to be regionally based for the most part. So we have LATAM, we have India, and we have global. So it's just there's a lot more structure to it when it comes to esports, and you again going through the different stages leading up to worlds at the end of the year. It will be open to everyone. Qualifiers via mobile. Do you mean for the worlds? Will you have to play on mobile? Yeah. Um, what we will, what I you're gonna back me into a corner. Um, oh, okay. Oh, yes. Sorry, I got you. Yes, sorry, you can. Oh, I almost gave away something there. Yes, you can play via mobile, via remote. And then obviously our tournaments are our tournaments. You know how those go. One thing I wanted to stress that I did stress on the TitanTalk last week, and I'll say it to you again here, Azu, is I don't want anybody to think that you just asked the question, right? Tournaments and esports going in parallel. Yes. So the esports roadmap that we released is not a replacement for our tournaments. They are separate streams. Their strategy, where they end up, how they evolve, are independent of each other. So it hasn't officially been decided where the world championship is going to be held, but I did say live on the stream because I was caught in the moment. I did say that it is quite likely that we'll have it in India. I think that is what I said. I think I said that pretty much word for word. I didn't say like exactly, but I strongly hinted at it. So that'll give me yeah. But it's not actually like fully decided exactly where worlds will be held. TSC Crips. I'm gonna call you Crisps. I think we talked about this. I think we were good with it. Oh, nice, Azu. I'm always around. The UK, so yeah, let's hang out. Maybe with a plushie. Let's see if we find Bluebo. Oh, nice, very nice. We'll take this like as a side chat. Otherwise, I'll start getting into it and recommending places for you to go. Will the Indonesian server join anytime soon? Why do you ask this? I'm curious as to your question here, Tusha. If you're saying strategically, why are we not going to Indonesia? Is this kind of your prompt? In the meantime, I'm going to answer the question that I saw up here. Oh, okay, yeah, it was can you explain the esports roadmap and stuff? Okay, so in general, everything is going to culminate with a World Series, right? The World Series is going to be held at the event of the year. And for the World Series, we want to make sure that we have a combination of pro teams and amateur teams. So we want to have 4 pro teams and 4 amateur teams, right? So what is the journey for us to get there, to get to Worlds, right? So we almost have like 2 tracks, right? Because as I said, you've got the pro teams and you've got the amateur teams. The journey for the pro teams is a little bit different, right? Pro teams are going to go through qualifiers, but each kind of journey is going to depend on what that pro team is, if that makes sense, right? So, for example, it is very likely, again, I'm not saying this for sure, but it is very likely that we are going to have a Revenant pro team, right? The way that this pro team is going to be selected is going to be dependent on Revenant as well, being part of that conversation, right? So each pro team is going to have a different process. This is just for the pros. The pro teams are somewhat based on regions, right? But also based on exactly like legitimate teams, right? So you cannot fund your own pro team. No, the pro teams are like exactly. It's meant for existing esports and brands, right? With that being said, though, there could be an opportunity, depending on the pro team, that they may want to recruit, right? Again, this is going to be very dependent on each team. And to Blake's point just now, we only have 4 of these teams, so it's not a lot of teams. It's pretty. I mean, I'm not going to say definitely again because I'm being recorded, but it's pretty likely that we're going to have a Revenant team, right? Pro teams, existing teams, they may want to recruit from the community. They may want to do that, but again, it's going to be very dependent on that pro team. But it is not clear. So, Azu, I'm not going to answer that question because it's all again very dependent on that pro team, right? And again, unlikely, right? Because we're talking about something that is lasting a couple of months, right? This is us as a pilot going into next year of like, can we have official pro teams for Reign of Titans, right? Which is then a very, very different conversation. Yes, so BVT, this is an option, and it's still an option for us to do, right? We could have a community team that is a pro team. And we would do that, right? But it depends on the conversations that we have with other teams because we only have 4 spots, right? What we are holding, right, for the community is the amateur teams, right? People are kind of thinking of pro teams as being like better than amateur teams, and like that's not the divide. The divide is really about being like established teams that have like played in multiple like games and like won multiple things. That's what we talk about when we say pro teams, right? So when we talk about the amateur teams, right, this is the tryouts, and this is kind of what you see in the roadmap between our qualifiers and etc. So we're going to be having tryouts that are going to be starting from September. These tryouts are going to be tournaments which you're going to be signing up for, and then a certain number of people are going to be going through to the next tryouts, and then we will have the last chance qualifier tryouts. The last chance qualifiers. And then that will kind of whittle us down, of course, to then get these amateur teams, which will go to the world qualifiers. Couple of things to note when it comes to these different tryouts. As I said, they're going to be regionally based, so that's something for you to think about. This is they could do. Hey, yeah, I'm pretty excited to see how the different like sides kind of work it together. Yeah, a couple of things to watch out for this roadmap. As I said, things are going to be regional, so just bear that in mind. This also ties in well with kind of our marketing strategy, our growth strategy in these different regions in terms of timings too, right? It's not a coincidence that we have LATAM tryouts as a separate category when we're going in very heavy with Brazil, right? Strategically this year, right? But anybody can enter these different tryouts, and anybody from anywhere can enter the global tryouts as well. As you go through the amateur journey, you will be placed into teams, right? So that's kind of the way that we form 4 amateur teams. As I said, as you go through the different qualifiers, you're then placed into teams. You're entering as an individual and then going to this team. When it comes to the actual world qualifiers, we are likely going to be doing something based on player and based on team level as well, right? So we want to really reward individual like performance. Obviously, like that's how the game is played, how matches are done. But we want to make sure that we have enough mechanics in there to make sure that each team is also highlighted, or the winning team is highlighted by like various different like parameters, right? I hope everyone will be limited by the same number of qualifier participation. Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. Of course. But it's exciting. This is the biggest thing, right? And we need to to get that done, we need to have our own our tournament platform, right? Ross, yeah, you have to. That's perfect. All right, team. So really nice TitanTalk. Thank you so much for all of the different questions that we just had. Exciting weekend going into our second affiliate tournament back to back. Love it. And then we'll obviously start to hit the road, getting ready for our Dutch Comic Con that's happening just about a week. As I said, we'll try and send photos, videos from there. We'll do the TitanTalk from there and give you some on the ground updates as we're getting through. And we will be posting all the pics in our Discord as well. We'll be moving forward with everything strategically. Our product roadmap is heavy. It's always pretty heavy. We'll try and give you some updates on that next week. And we're definitely next week going to give you some sneak peeks on the new website, which is going to be released very, very soon. It was time. We kind of actually showed you, we did actually show you a draft of the website before. It doesn't look like that anymore at all. It looks totally different. It's like way better. So I actually can't wait for you to see. I wish I had it up now because I like really want to show you because it looks so cool because you mentioned the trailer. Yeah, I get that. But I have to say soon because there's no other word. Because if I give a date, then you know what happens. I have to say sometime in the future. That's what I'm going to start saying. Imagine if I had given like a hard date for the platform. I think you would all like found out where I live and come to my house and annihilated us because of we haven't met that date.
We did on the product roadmap.
Yeah.
Between now and later. That's a good way to say it.
All right. I think it's time for Rumble.
Right. Let's head on over to Titan Games, everyone.
You're gonna know if I win because I'm gonna post it here for all of you to see.
With all your questions in Titan Games now on. Oh, we got the classic era. No more music. All right, who wants a bounty? First one to say it gets it. Who wants it? Oh, they had it already typed up. Okay, Tushar has a bounty on him today. That means you'll get a medium loot box if you kill Ads, myself, or Tushar. If any of us commit suicide, there'll be a normal loot box for everyone who is playing. And if you win the Super Rumble, you will get a medium loot box. I see some fake Grim Grabs going out in chat. Nice try, Broken. Let's see if anybody wants some Grimoires. Oh,
who should I have as a nemesis today? Hmm. I think it's gonna be. Who was given some? Broken. Yeah, it's gonna be Broken for doing that little stunt. Yeah, Broken. I'm coming for you.
All right, no more Grim Drops. Don't listen to Broken. He's still messing with everybody, even after Ads calls him out. Still doing it. You got 30 seconds until the Super Rumble of the day.
Broken's like, what?
Now it's Maddie. 15 seconds. Oh, Ross, what am I giving you plushies for?
Oh, I should have given it. It should be Maddie for stealing the plushie. I get it. Yeah.
Maddie is something nice, though.
Yeah.
Maybe an extra loot box to kill Maddie.
Yeah.
Just cause.
When you return Blue Bow, then we can talk again.
That's Maddie right now as a wet cat. Oh, we're off! Shenlong as a wolf. Shizunix killed Julian. Chiku killed BVT and Anch Sharma committed suicide.
Oh, it's Ant. Ant is the one that's normally my nemesis, huh?
Yes.
Oh.
Soul Mint killed Solstice. Vinci killed the Phoenix Wolf. And Sankey killed Joel. Ooh. Oh! And they're back. Julian is back. BVT is back. Solstice is back. Joel Franklin is back. And Phoenix Wolf is back. Ooh, looks like it's gonna be his long Super Rumble. BVT killed Deuce. Solstice has a dagger. BVT then killed Chiku. Vinci died. And Joel Franklin got some water. BVT is on a roll. Oh, Ads committed suicide. Ooh. RG Bureau killed Golsenior. Abhishek killed Ross. And then BVT was on a spree, killed Heya. It's a normal loot box for everyone with Ads being gone. Shenlong killed Shizunix. BVT was killed by a puppy. Ooh, I tried to swim in lava. That's a suicide. Another normal loot box for everyone. That's 2 for the day. And Tushar has a dagger. Alex Beth kill Webbed Hero. Guy Phil killed Daniel. And then Guy Phil, got eaten by a wolf. Tushar just chilling. Getting some supplies. Going fishing. Oh, round 8. Ooh, Shenlong killed Tushar. That's a medium loot box. Shenlong was upset he didn't get the bounty on him today. D Phoenix has a dagger. Soulmint has a spear. Beth Alex Beth committed suicide, and Shen Long then killed Soulman. We're on round 9. RG Piro committed suicide. Detested Netter. Ooh, got a dagger. Then killed Ozzy. Then killed Joel. Then killed Julian. 6 players left. Lots of cats going on. Round 10. Abhishek killed Shen Long. Detest Netter killed Sankey. And then Solstice stood up for everyone and killed Detest Netter. Wow, that was impressive there. Bunch of kills from the new player. 3 players left. Alex Beth comes back to life. Hey, Abhishek died. Cats is still doing cats. Cats.
I want to get back in.
Can we see a revive here? Can we see a revive? Alex Beth committed suicide. Solstice killed D Phoenix Wolf, and GG's wins that Super Rumble. A lot of kills there from Shenlong, BVT, and Detest Netter. GG's, everyone. Woo.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today, hanging out with us. We're excited for our upcoming travels, as we said. We'll be there with BVT Skog. We'll send you a selfie when we all get there. But thanks for listening. Thanks for your questions, as always. If there's something particular that you want to see or you want to know about, definitely feel free to ping it into us earlier on in the week, and we'll make sure that we can try and get some content together for you. But always a pleasure. Yeah, Broken. That's exactly what I said. Yeah.
Broken's banned, right?
Yeah, Broken, you're banned.
Forever.
In fact, I'm not even sure how you can even type here. You shouldn't even be in here anymore. What's going on?
Broken is broken.
Yeah.
He's still typing.
But don't worry, Maddie's not far behind.
Maybe if Maddie returns to plushie.
Yeah, then we can talk.
Speaking terms.
Yeah, then we can talk. All right, everyone. Just kidding, Broken. You're fine. Thanks, everyone.
Broken is still typing.
Yeah. Is this you, Broken, or are you just... Have you been hacked?
Oh. Type that long for a clapback.
I like that. Giving it. I like it. Okay, so you are all definitely free to attack Broken if you want to. We'll leave it up to you. Do what you need to do, community. Yeah.
Make sure to question Maddie as well.
Yeah.
Whereabouts
Just get the plushie back. We know it was Maddie. Yeah, get the plushie back. Don't Maddie, if you just give the plushie back, we'll be fine.
Oh, wait. Before we end,
we got
a special guest.
Hello, everyone. What were the goods?
We talked about the Creator Clash. They pressured me to give them some alpha. So I had to think of some things on the spot.
Tournament
this weekend. Talked a little bit about
So how many people have enrolled in this tournament this weekend?
We're a little bit. There's a few open spots after eligibility check, but we're upwards of 120.
120. Okay, so some people will just go to the second.
If that happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to fill it.
Okay.
They want some alpha from you. They want some words.
Somehow. Look, I think that's the thing I'm focused now is the Guaraná Antarctica and the Brazilian game show, right? I think that's the big thing for us. I think people are working very hard to make the Guaraná team fall in love with the Titans and if possible, take the Titans as part of their marketing activities in the future. So that's let's say the big thing. Also, I congratulate the dads and the team for the amazing activation in India, right? I mean, super incredible to see, and lots of views, like hundreds of thousands of views from the different creators. So I think it's fantastic. So it's great to see, us creating a real impact in India, having the opportunity to maybe find some partners there, right? I mean, that's his work. I mean, that's an alpha that's still not ready to be shared.
I can give a little alpha about that though.
But I mean, the big thing for us is the Brazilian game show in São Paulo for October. So big planning work behind this.
Yeah, I told them about Druid as well. Working with
Druid is like amazing agency that is helping us. So let's see now, and from the game part, I mean, something that we've been talking and that I've been reading from the chat is, and I don't know how accurate it is, to be honest, because I've been not playing recently, but I mean, people say that the game's a little bit too much into the stall.
Mm.
And, and people want more balance into, let's say, less of the one who lasts longer wins and more about a real battle. So there's lots of, believe, balancing still to be done, right? So don't worry, you all stall haters. I mean, don't worry. I mean, I'm with you. So if this is happening, I mean, it won't last long. Okay.
Amazing.
Okay.
All right.
Very good. Now I have to go
Yeah.
again. So, but great to talk to you guys.
Yeah. Thanks, Artie.
Thanks,
Thank
Artie.
you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Perfect note for us to end on. Yes, we love how you like to take over the Time Talks by making us check our DMs. But we'll pass the message along to Artie to check the DMs. He goes through his DMs, so he will definitely take a look. But busy time in the office today, so I'm really glad that he could catch you and just say hello. I can give you all a little bit of alpha, right? I got one thing. This is I actually forgot. This is what I wanted to say, and he reminded me, right? So, one thing, and I'm not going to say the name, right? I'm not going to say the name, but what I can tell you is that post event, there may be a couple of other games that are now looking to replicate what Reign of Titans is doing in India, which is a massive like vote of like recognition as to what we're doing. We were recognized actually by some other games as having a very successful launch event. I can't really say the names of these games. And I wouldn't say this if this weren't true, right? But it's a pretty big vote of confidence for what we're doing. That like established games trying to replicate our tiny little vibe that we got going on there. But when I can release more info, I will, obviously. And yeah, we're gonna get rid of stalls. Like we got to. That's the worst. So we got to. We're gonna kick out stalls just like we're gonna kick out Broken and Maddie. Kidding. Just kidding. Like so much love for all of you. You're fine, Maddie. I'm Broken. All right, everyone. Thank you so. And BBT and Haya. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time. I love how Maddie's like, "You're fired, Broken," even though he's like right there.
Both on the chopping block.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. We'll catch you next time.
Thanks, guys. See ya. Good luck.